fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Aladdin Cave of Wonders pack from the Disney Storytellers line from Mattel. Now this is a line that I've seen around a little bit. They have like a Lion King set. I think they have a Lilo and Stitch set. Nothing that really jumped out to me, but I saw this the other day at Walmart and I decided to go for it. It's basically 3 3/4 inch Aladdin stuff, and I just thought that was kind of cool. So it looks like you get Aladdin, you get the Genie, you get the lamp, and then of course the magic carpet all included. And I believe this set was $15, which I felt like was pretty reasonable. We have kind of an open style packaging here, but we do have some of the plastic here on the card. And then Genie's just kind of out, just kind of tied to the back there. Nothing really going on the inside, nothing really going on the bottom. Over here just says Disney Aladdin, same on this side. And then on the back here, we just have some product shots of the figures. And then we have some, the two sets that I was also talking about, the Lion King set and the Lilo and Stitch set. I think there might also be like a Monsters Inc. set. I think this is these three are wave 2. I think there was a wave 1 that I didn't really see. But yeah, I just thought they were kind of neat, so I thought we'd give them a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here's everything you get in the set. We will start off with Aladdin himself. I think he came out pretty good. Nice head sculpt. The head seems a little large for the body, but it's really not too bad. Nicely painted. He's got his fez, his vest. His vest is kind of an outer, like more malleable piece of plastic. And then he's got the belt and the pants. He's got that big patch there. Pretty good articulation-wise. The head's on a ball joint, so you can look up very slightly, look down very slightly, move side to side. It's a little stiff at first, but I feel like it's getting a little bit more fluid as I move it around more. We have a hinge here in the shoulder, as well as a rotation. You also have a hinge and a rotation in the elbows, but they're a little tight. I'm hoping they'll also loosen up over time. And I'm really hoping I'm not like bending the joint itself. I hope it's actually moving on the joint like it's supposed to, but it's very hard to tell. I think the real problem is that they don't really want to go more than like a 45-degree angle, so that might be part of the problem as well. He does have a waist swivel where the abdomen meets the belt. Here in the hips, you can kick really far out to the side, and you can kick forward, but you can't really go back all that much because of the butt flap. And then he's got a hinge and a rotation here in the knee. And I think they do a pretty good job of like doing it at a spot in the pants that kind of makes sense in the way they have it. It doesn't look too ridiculous because he's got the big baggy pants. And then you have a rotation where the foot meets the pants. So pretty good articulation, honestly, for a little 3 3/4 inch figure. I think he came out pretty good. Next up we have the Genie. Genie has pretty similar articulation, but because his joints are larger, they're definitely more fluid and they're really solid. So he's got a ball joint, the head can move, no problem. Look down a little bit, look up. Really nice, easy joints here for the shoulder and the elbow. His elbows are really nice and solid. He's also got a waist swivel right above the belt, and then he's got a kick to the side and forward for the hip, but he doesn't have anything in the knee, and I'm assuming that's because he's much more top heavy, and so they wanted to give him some stability. But he does have a foot swivel at the shoe, so he looks pretty great. I do kind of wish they painted the earring. They went to the trouble of molding it in there. I kind of wish they had painted it, and some of the paint's a little sloppy on the gold bands. It's not too bad, but it's just a little bit. That's just a QC thing, so your mileage may vary on that. But again, really solid figure. I think he looks pretty good. Now obviously he's much larger than Aladdin. Genie can kind of be whatever size he wants, so I think it makes sense that he would be a little bigger. Here is the lamp, which is just a very simple little piece, but molded well. No paint whatsoever, it's just molded out of this gold plastic. But that makes sense because there wasn't really any paint on the one in the movie. I don't remember anyway, I remember just being one solid color, so pretty happy with that. And then last but not least, we have the flying carpet, and I think it's kind of neat. They included this little clear plastic stand that you can sit him in so that he can, stand. And he's very snug. It's not going to fall off or anything like that. And that way he can kind of stand up, because he did kind of like walk around like this in the movie. But he would not be able to stand on his own. So I think that's kind of cool. And then if you want Aladdin to ride him, and it is painted on both sides, which I also really appreciate. I wanted to point that out. I think these are turned up, one, so that they can kind of be like, his hands in the vertical mode. But also I think maybe Aladdin is supposed to grab onto them. when he's riding. I think in the movie he would normally like kneel on the carpet, and I'm going to see if I can actually pull this off. I don't know if this is going to be doable. Let me try to bend the elbows. So I don't really think he's going to be able to grab onto them. I think maybe they're just a little too big for his hands. But you might be able to simulate it, something like this. Maybe I can put it around the side. You can kind of stretch out the hand a little bit if you want to. So yeah, unfortunately, I wish there was like a way he could just kind of grab onto it. But you can kind of simulate it, something like that. I mean, if you really just want him to kind of surf on it, that's also an option. And he does have peg holes in the feet, so maybe it would have been neat if they would have put maybe like on the back or something. They could have put like one little peg hole just so he could peg in and surf on. I understand if you're trying to use him as another character, you don't want that just to have a random peg hole in the middle of his abdomen. But maybe if they wanted to put it on the back or something like that, they could have done that. So however you want to kind of navigate that, but unfortunately there's not really a way to attach him to the carpet for him to ride. But I do really like that stand. I think that's a nice little touch. There we go. And then we can have him hold the lamp that can fit in his hand. So we will pop that in. So whatever you want to do with the lamp, we can try to... I think on the back of the packaging they showed him holding it with both hands. But these elbows are really kind of tricky. Maybe if I rotate this in. Something like this. Close enough. Maybe. I mean, honestly, he can hold it decently with one hand, but if you're trying to get him to hold it with both hands, it's a little difficult. Maybe if I try to clip it in his hand. In any case, you get the idea. Something like that. So I think it's a cool little set. Honestly, I would be interested in them doing more from Aladdin. I remember somebody did, was it Mattel back in the day, or maybe it was Kenner? Somebody did a whole line of figures back when the movie came out, and they had like a Cave of Wonders playset and stuff like that, and it was actually kind of neat. So if they wanted to do something like that for this scale, it could be cool. Now, unfortunately, since this is kind of an anthology series, I don't think they're going to dive into, any specific movie too much. But it would be kind of neat, or at least give us another set from Aladdin. Give us Jafar, give us Jasmine, give us maybe Abu or Raja, something like that. So we'll have to see how this Storytellers line takes off. But maybe they'll revisit some of the more popular movies to give us some more characters, because I think this is a really fun set. I definitely would like to see more of it. I wanted to do some size comparison quicks before we finish up. So he is, I guess, supposed to be in the 3 3/4 inch scale, but he's a little bit shorter. Here is a 3 3/4 inch Buzz Lightyear from the Disney Parks line, and then here is a standard 4-inch Spin Master Blue Beetle. So you can see he's a little shorter. He's maybe 3.5 inches, something like that. But again, he's kind of a smaller character. If I pop out here and put the Genie here in the back, you can see that he's bigger than everyone. But again, he can kind of change size as he sees fit. So it makes sense that he would still kind of be in scale with the rest of these characters and be a little bit larger. So I think it works. I think this is a pretty fun set if you're into, 3 3/4 inch or 4-inch figures. I definitely think this is worth checking out. Really nice articulation, some pretty nice paint applications. Not a ton. I feel like most of the budget went into painting both sides of the magic carpet, but I am glad they did. I think if the other side wasn't painted, that kind of would have been a bummer. I also think the inclusion of the little clear plastic stand was a great idea. Such a tiny little thing that really adds a lot of value, so you can have it stand up in a display or something like that. The Aladdin and Genie figures, I think, work really well. Kind of wish we got an Abu in this set as well. Maybe just a tiny little articulated Abu. I feel like if they would have popped it in this set, though, he probably would have just been like a stump, just, a plastic character with no articulation. And I would rather him have articulation. So like I said, if this line does well, maybe they'll continue to do sets from these movies. Or maybe if they notice one set does really well, they'll do more from that movie, something like that. I don't know. I think it's a relatively new line. Like I said, I think this is Wave 2. I know I've seen Lilo and Stitch and Lion King, because they're kind of out now at the same time as this set, and they're also on the back of the packaging. But I am pretty sure that there was a Coco set, and I think there was also a Monsters Inc. in the first wave, and there was probably another one, because I think each wave has been 3 sets. So again, maybe if this one does well, they'll revisit, give us a second Aladdin set. I would really like that. I would love a playset. I think a Cave of Wonders or Palace playset, like something like that, could be pretty cool. But yeah, they're fun little figures. Like I said, I think the set was $15. I found it at Walmart, but I've definitely seen them at Target as well. So if you're looking for some of these, definitely check out Walmart, Target. Amazon might even have them as well. I haven't checked there yet. But yeah, it's a fun little line. They're cool little figures, and if you're into this scale, I think it's worth checking out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.